Welcome to the Midday Show with J.R. Bjarnson, where most of my audience understands me, but some of my audience might hear me as...
Welcome to the Midday Show, hosted by J.R. Bjarnson, a stand-up comedian, YouTuber, father of 5 glorious kids. He might be a little blind, but he likes to make you smile. His goal is to help you alleviate some of the daily stress. When you invest time in his podcast, you'll be feeling a little happier. New episodes Monday to Friday, released usually by 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, broadcasting from Central Alberta, Canada. Please welcome J.R. Bjarnson.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's too funny. Hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Midday Show. I am your host, J.R. Bjarnson, and I'm just going to quickly take a look at my sound setup here because I'm hearing an interesting delay. So give me one moment here. And nope, that did not do anything. That did not. You know what? Let's just leave it as it is because that's just, sometimes it is what it is, right? And I was actually just talking to a friend of mine, and we both came up with that realization, right? It is what it is. Sometimes things don't sound right, and all we can do is ignore it. Happy National Banana Day today. Today is the 27th of August, and again, I apologize for being late. How dare you be tardy? Do you not know who we are? We are your average 4 active monthly listeners. Our time is valuable. We subscribe to you. Well, I'm terribly sorry. Please forgive me. And today was actually registration day. It was back to school festivities, and I realized I did not record a show for you, and for that I'm sorry. But hey, it's better late than ever. And speaking of better late than ever on this National Banana Day, how do you like your banana? Do you like it in banana bread? Do you like it on its own? Do you like it in other things? You know, banana cream pie? I don't know if that's a real pie, but I would eat it. Anyway, speaking of food, I was really brought to movement, you could say. Not necessarily brought to tears. But the school that my kids are going to has this thing called the Breakfast Club. And it's not those guys that sing about, don't you forget about me. No, not those guys. That's a different Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is one of those community supports that allow kids who might not be able to have a normal large amount of food to get their day started, who might not even have food at all. The Breakfast Club is a great way for students to go grab a snack or something to eat in the morning before they go to class. I was moved when I found out that the school my kids are attending has a Breakfast Club, and I learned about the initiative, and I immediately signed up to be on the local parental council because programs like this it's such a need that I don't know if I even had the Breakfast Club growing up myself. Maybe I just didn't know about it, but I know there were mornings where we couldn't really have a lot of cereal or, we ran out of milk. So I remember growing up in a bit of a low-income family home and having canned milk with my cereal. And sometimes there would only be like a quarter cup of, canned milk, and my parental figure would actually put 1/4 can of milk and 1/4 water in my cereal. And I didn't know at the time that we were struggling. And to know about these programs like the Breakfast Club, like the Food Bank, and so many more great community resources, it just brings such joy to my heart because, we could say, really only the super desperate need it. But one thing you need to know is if you're going through a tough time and you need it, you definitely should use those resources. You should use the food bank. There should not be any shame to using the resources, even if you think, oh man, you know what, I can be hungry for another week. I got a job. I can buy a little bit of food with my little paycheck. I'll be okay. You should still eat. And just learning about the food bank and just learning about how these these things, they're here and they want you to use them. That is incredible. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I just turned myself up because I could tell that I was fairly quiet. But yeah, did you ever use anything like that? Any programs? Like, you don't have to share with me if you don't want to over at youtube.com at Bjarnson Videos. But it's a great question, because I think a lot of us wish we had access to these resources, but now it's great that our children have access to these resources, at least some of our kids. You can't help them all worldwide, but at least if there's programs in your neighborhood like that, doesn't that just bring maybe a little bit of a smile to your heart? Because I know for me, when I learned about the Breakfast Club, I guess it got to me emotionally, because I don't know if I had stuff like this growing up. I spent a little bit of my life on reserve, and on reserve, there's not many programs where the band will help you. And I don't mean to say anything negative about Fox Lake, Alberta, but I don't recall having too many snacks. And if we did have snacks, it was sometimes because of our teachers who would share the odd granola bar with us or share the odd apple, And it's just one of those things where I'm so grateful that we have the Breakfast Club. I'm so grateful that some of us still have access to a local food bank. And it's just moments like that where you have to step back and put yourself in these positions mentally. Imagine, what would it be like to go use the food bank if you truly had to? I know there's a little bit of stigma, there's a little bit of shame, but you need to stay alive. You need to put yourself first, especially if you don't have any money or any income to help you get the services you need to try to live your best life. And living your best life can simply just mean eating, because food is delicious. And I don't know, it could be my lack of sleep. I only got 5 hours and 12 minutes, so I could be inebriated with a lack of sleep, because they say when you only have a small amount of sleep, you shouldn't drive, because it's like having 2 bottles of beer. And I'm over here like, I just feel emotional, because when I learned about the Breakfast Club, I guess it kind of reinstated hope that I didn't know I had lost. I don't know how else to explain it. Anyway, the weekend is coming up. That's exciting. Tomorrow is Friday. If you have any plans for the weekend, do let me know. You can leave a comment on our YouTube podcast, or you can also email me anytime at blindguycomedy.com. Where's my email? Right here. It is podcast@blindguycomedy.com. podcast at blindguycomedy.com. That is an email I set up just so I can get fan mail. And if you're ever interested in sponsorships or sponsoring the show, you can also reach us out there too. Podcast at blindguycomedy.com, because it would be great to get a few fun little sponsorships here and there. We are syndicated worldwide. You can find us on platforms like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio. And if I have forgotten anything, I do heavily apologize. And yeah, but I wanted to spend some time to remind you that if you are struggling and you have access, if you have access to your local food bank, it's okay. It is okay to use it. It is okay to get out there, and don't feel bad if you do get out there and you find out, oh, there's not enough food and they turned me down. At least in your heart you tried, right? Because if anything was to ever happen to you, I would be down a listener, I would be down a friend, and even though we don't talk to each other in real life, well, most of us anyway, I just want to say that I am happy you're here, and I'm happy that you're doing your best to get through the day. And sometimes you need that voice to remind you that you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. You can't quit. It's just something you can't do. And yeah, just one of those things. Anyway, The Midday Show with J.R. Bjarnson is coming to an end today. I look forward to hanging out with you tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to pre-record Friday's episode, so we will be back around the same time. So I will talk to you tomorrow around 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and wherever you listen to us in the world. Because tomorrow I have some stuff I have to do, so I'm going to be fairly busy, but we have not missed an episode in a while. You know, it's episode 20. We did 20 episodes, Monday to Friday, guys. You know what that means? Wow. We are officially 1 month into season 1. This is episode 20, season 1 of the Midday Show with J.R. Bjarnson. And thank you for hanging out with me and having this reminder moment, it's gratitude. It's a reminder that we have all these programs. Some of us have these programs at our disposal. You know, I hate to say that word. At our access. Yeah, we have all these programs that we can access. Some of us do anyway. And just a friendly reminder that it is okay to use those programs. All right, take care of yourself, and I will chat with you tomorrow.